Howdy folks. Hey, today I wanted to talk to you about canning. But it was a subject that came up in the last video I did, which was talking about, canning safety and stuff like that. And that's a good video to watch. You might want to check that out. One of my viewers, goes by the name of Too Much Tequila. I kind of like that name. He asked me, he mentioned to me that he had always been kind of taken back about, the sanitizing the lids thing on doing pressure canning. Doing canning like this. Now these lids, they come in boxes, I think a box of 12 lids, and they are just enough for a box of these little jars. And by the way, they're all the same size lid regardless of the jar. It's really convenient, except for the wide mouth. That's the second size. But other than that, just regular mouth is always the same size lid. And the thing of it is a lot of the directions that you see everywhere say to boil the lids before putting them on the jar, and pressure canning. Well, in pressure canning, we're getting a whole lot hotter than we do in just regular boiling water. So, pressure canning, you're shooting over 240 degrees. But boiling water only gets up to 212, and that's at sea level. So, it kind of came to my mind that it might be smart to do a video on what do we sanitize and what do we not sanitize, and why. Because he mentioned, he believes in giving the jars a good cleaning, a good wash, maybe even using the dishwasher, and I agree with that. Hey, if it makes it easier, do it. The only thing I would caution in is if you have that stuff in your dishwasher that's supposed to, prevent like spotting or anything, that's actually an oil is what that is. It's a very tiny amount that it uses, but still it coats it well enough to keep it from spotting, which it does. But it does put a coating on that surface. I wouldn't recommend canning with that stuff. So I leave that out of my dishwasher. I just use plain old dishwasher detergent, and that's all. The next thing I wanted to mention is sanitizing and cleaning. Number one, cleaning these things, sometimes getting inside of a jar, getting your fat, short, see, I got these stubby fingers that are kind of fat, and I can't get in there. So there's no way to get to the bottom of that little jar, is there? Well, yeah, there is. Okay, they make this neat little thing called a bottle brush. It'll go right in there, and it'll do a wonderful job of cleaning that out. And this is something I'm used to doing, all right? This is something I've been doing for a long time. After I would clean my glass for brewing, I would sanitize it, okay? So I would, clean these out after I empty the bottle. So I'll pour out what I have, I'll enjoy the contents of it, and then I'll clean the inside by rinsing it out thoroughly and shaking it hard. And that way I get, any of the residual liquid out of there. And I give it a good cleaning by sanitizing it in buckets, and I let it soak for about a half an hour. And I use a simple sanitizing solution of hot water and a little bleach. Pretty simple. And that keeps my my beautiful brews from getting any kind of weird items in them that shouldn't be in there. They come out really good as a result. Well, I decided I'm just going to use the same exact methods that I do on my bottles, on my jars. Okay, number one, they need to be cleaned really well. So after you use one of these and you open it up, you empty your contents, and then you're left with a dirty jar, go ahead and make sure it's thoroughly cleaned. The bottle brushes help a lot because there's stuff that'll get cooked on the bottom of these that doesn't want to get cleaned off real easy, and sometimes it takes a little extra work. For instance, a good example is this right here. Delicious. This is corned beef. This is my own corned beef. I corned it, and then I canned it. All right, delicious stuff. Well, it's delicious, but the stuff that's in the bottom of the jar there that cooked onto it isn't so easy to clean off. And so, well, I want something that cleans up a little easier. So I can't change the bottles, can't change the jars. I just have to change the tools. Don't forget, bottle brushes are important. Now, I'll mention you can cut the little loop off of the end of this, put it in a drill, and suddenly you're using power. The only thing I'm going to caution you about is don't hold this over the water. Don't hold it over the sink. Keep the drill part outside of the sink so that if you accidentally drop it, you don't electrocute yourself. You might say, oh, it's just a battery. Trust me, there's enough juice in that battery to electrocute you real good. So do not hold that over water, okay? Don't be stupid if you're going to do something like this. Be smart about how you handle things, all right? I just wanted to kind of throw that at you. And then to talk to you about the sanitizing process itself. To 5 gallons of water, I usually use about 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of bleach. And that's that stronger bleach, the sanitizing bleach. Regular bleach, I'd probably use 1/2 cup. All right, so consider that. Also, sometimes if you use bleach all of the time in the kitchen, that's the only thing you sanitize with, after 4 to 6 years, you're starting to develop some pathogens which are bleach resistant. They're becoming resistant to your sanitizer. So you need to do what's called shocking. All right, to shock a kitchen, to shock items that you use that you normally sanitize, you simply use a different sanitizer that those pathogens are not accustomed to. Something like vinegar, a good strong vinegar will work. Potassium metabisulfite solution will work. A sodium metabisulfite solution will also work. On those solutions, it will depend on the strength of the item you buy, so you'll need to mix it according to directions. But those kitchen sanitizers, the shock treatments, they work well, ladies and gentlemen. Do that to your kitchen at least once every 5 years, and that way you get a good sanitary kitchen that you don't have to worry about pathogens that are getting resistant to your sanitizer. All right, so I use sodium metabisulfite solution or vinegar or bleach. So normally my go-to is bleach because it's the cheapest one. Vinegar is the next lowest cost, but you have to use it full strength. And then, so it's expensive. And then the next lowest cost is going to be the potassium or sodium metabisulfite. So I think it's sodium sulfite. I'm not positive. It's something like that. Those words I sometimes get confused. The brain gets jumbled as you get older. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that and to discuss, the importance of getting rid of the pathogens, treating them well, and how to handle cleaning your equipment and doing a really good job, all right? Make sure the jars are not only clean, but they don't have any spots. Let me tell you something about water spots, ladies and gentlemen. They harbor bacteria. If you've ever been in a restaurant and you've been inspected by a really good inspector, you'll learn that water spots harbor a lot of pathogens, and you can't have water spots on things that you're using for cooking or for serving. All right, so my jars have no water spots on them at all, and that is because they are properly washed and dried, and they've been treated the right way. And another thing is, I don't generally towel dry anything like this. I'll let these air dry. They'll be washed, put in a sink drainer, a drainer basket actually, the one I have over here, and they will sit upside down just like the bottles I have over there right now, and they are hot. So when I get them out of the sink, these suckers are really hot. They hold that heat. When they're upside down, they get rid of their water real quick, and they don't have spots because that heat helps them to dry fast. That's an important thing. So work on that. Make sure you don't have spots. Shock treatments are important. Make sure you sanitize. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot sanitize dirt, so you make sure you get all the dirt off of whatever it is you're trying to sanitize. And that's all I have to say about that. On the lids, yeah, the whole idea of boiling the lid, a brand new lid, before you put it on something that you're going to put in a temperature that's much higher temperature than boiling, well, that's that's kind of a funny idea, isn't it? Yeah, right. Okay, hey, thanks for watching this. And if you have any comments, any questions, please put them right down below here. Also, please subscribe, hit the like button. folks, those two things right there help me out more than you can imagine. It helps me in the placements and in the rankings. When people have suggested views, you know, like when you log on to YouTube and you see suggested videos, I'll come up in suggested videos more for other people if you'll click that like button. So please do that. Please help me out. And thanks a lot for watching. Folks, you have a good day. Bye-bye. All right. Lots of fun.